Hi, my name is Chris Nelson and welcome to our online e-learning class. And today we're going to work on some sparring drills, specifically how to move in on a target, slide versus skipping. Okay, so I know some of you are thinking, well, how do you work on sparring when you don't have someone to fight? That's a really good question. Typically we do like to have a fighter, but not always is the case. And I just think of, when I was a student training with Grandmaster Worley, a lot of times he would have us just sit down. He'd take the whole class and he'd sit us all down on the end of the mat or sit us against the wall, and he'd say, not all of you are going to get to fight today. I want you to watch the drills that I'm teaching you, and I want you to learn how fighting works. So sometimes that was the case. He'd bring two people up and he'd show us the drill. He'd explain the footwork, he'd explain how fighting works, and by the time he was all done with that, class would be over and it'd be time to go, and we didn't get to fight. But we learned a lot, and that's kind of what today's going to be like. But I also would like to get you some drills. So if you could, maybe you want to just pause the video and set something up that you can hit. And I know what I've done with my kids before is we stack up some couch cushions and pillows and put it on the wall, and that gives us a target, something that they can hit. I'm not going to hit this real hard today because every time I do it tips over. Usually I have it hanging, but again, I want you to have something to focus on, something that you can hit. So when we talk about the difference between an offensive side kick or a skip side kick and a slide side kick, here's what I'm saying. An offensive side kick means I'm getting my body weight to the pad through the taking steps. All right, so proper offensive side kick, you would step in, you turn the seat, you step past your foot, chamber, and then you unload with a lot of power. So I need a little bit more room, so I'm gonna go step, step, kick. Okay, ton of power in there, ton of power. And the step below that would be a skip kick. So instead of getting two steps, instead of going 1, 2 kick, I put weight on the front foot and I skip up, kick. A lot of power there too. So if I had to defend myself, if I was in a self-defense situation and I really wanted to hit somebody hard and I had a little bit of distance, that's what I would use. I would use either a step or a slide because you get so much power into it. Bam! You kick all that body weight into it. So why wouldn't I do that when I spar? Well, when I spar, you're fighting somebody who's trained to fight. Okay, big difference. So in self-defense, 99% of the world doesn't know how to kick. So when you kick them, they don't know what to do. They don't know how to handle that. They don't know a skip side kick from a hole in the ground, right? So you can get away with that. But when I'm fighting someone in the school who's trained to fight, when I'm fighting a black belt, when I'm fighting a brown belt, if I go to a tournament and that person's trained to fight, then I can't get away with that. And the reason is it's your telegraphing, right? So telegraph is anything I do to give away what I'm going to do. So when I put weight on that front foot, that tells the person, oh, here comes the skip kick, okay? And then they can adjust, or they can jam me, or they can get out of the way. Another way to think about telegraphing is this. When I was in high school and I played basketball, I always said, don't telegraph. You don't want to have someone steal the ball from you. So when you get the ball, if I wanted to throw my teammate over here, I'm not supposed to look at him and then throw it, because if I did, the opponent who's guarding him would see that I'm going to throw it to him, and he would cut in between us, and he would steal the ball, and he could go down and score a basket. Okay, that's telegraphing. So in basketball, what they would have us do is they would have me look like I'm going to throw it to this guy, and then quick throw it to that guy. Or we do a no-look pass, right? So I'm dribbling the ball, and I know my guy's over here. I can see him out of the corner of my eye, but I'm not going to look at him. I'm going to pick up the ball, and I'm going to do no look. I'm just going to throw it to him so that the other person doesn't see that, right? And that's how you prevent a telegraph. So when we fight, we have to make sure we don't telegraph. And I always like to tell students too. So when you think of telegraphing in basketball, what's the worst that can happen? The worst that can happen is they steal the ball, they go down and score, and maybe you lose the game, right? When you're fighting and you telegraph, what happens? Well, they hit you, right? And it hurts. So we want to avoid that. There's a bigger penalty if you telegraph. So we want to make sure that we're just a smooth fighter, not giving anything away. So here's what we're going to do. Instead of, oh, by the way, when you're fighting someone, so conversely, so what I'm telling you is when I'm going to kick somebody, I don't want to step, kick, and give it away. I don't want to even put weight on that front foot and skip up and kick, because that's going to telegraph and tell that person to come. And the best case for me is they make me miss. Worst case is they jam me and hit me hard, right? So what I want to be able to do is pick that foot up, kick, and slide all at the same time. And I'm going to break that down in a minute. But conversely, when you're fighting somebody who has a little bit of a skip, and there's a lot of people that do it. A lot of people don't even know they do it. It's just a habit, right? But if you're a good fighter and you pick that up, you can jam them all day. So what do you look for? You're fighting a guy, you see them put weight on that front foot, and as soon as you do, easy thing would be get out of the way and they miss you, okay? Or if your timing's real good, you see them put weight on, bam, and then you move them. You just fight, they put weight on, bam. They're like, why does he hit me all the time? I can't figure it out. Well, because you figured out that he's giving away something, he's telegraphing, you're taking advantage of that, okay? So back to us being the offensive person. So when I pick my foot up and attack, this leg has to be the springboard that launches me forward, okay? Because I don't get the step anymore. This foot has to be the springboard. So as you're fighting, you keep that little bend, right? And then as I pick this foot up, I spring forward and I do my kick, okay? This foot, on the other hand, when I'm fighting, I never want that person to be able to come in and get me. I always want to control the distance. One of the ways I control the distance is moving. One of the ways I control the distance is my front foot. So if I pick my front foot up, even if I'm not ready, and that guy comes in, okay, I can stop him, okay? Good side kick to the ribs, it's going to stop it. But if I'm moving in, if that person's not moving in, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to catch up to my foot. Okay, so I'm not really going to chamber it back here. I'm going to chamber it up here. So I pick my foot up, I catch up to it, and then I kick it. Okay, so I pick my foot up, I catch up to my, then chamber, and then I kick. Let's do that one more time. So I pick it up, catch up, bend it, and then I'm going to do my kick. Okay, and by doing that, I'm covering distance really fast, and I'm also getting a good chamber so I can hit them really hard. Okay, so we're going to think about why is the slide so important anyways, and the reason is when you're fighting, okay, you don't just get to, walk up and kick the guy, right? Because he wants to get out of the way. So it's just got to be a smooth bam where I can kick and move all at the same time. All right. So the next thing I want to do is talk about how we would do that with a round kick. Same footwork, essentially. I don't have to worry about catching up to my foot on a round kick. So a side kick, my knee is kind of going to be in front of me, then it chambers on this side, and then I kick. The round kick, the knee is going to come to the inside or at least point straight ahead. Okay? So I pick it up, and then I'm just going to use that same launch, boom, and I'm going to kick. Okay? So again, key is the foot comes up first. Don't put the weight here, and then skip. Now we're telegraphing again, right? So foot comes up, and I kick. So we're going to do this together. So this part of the video, I don't want to just sit and watch. I want you to get up and do it with me. So if you're not ready for that, pause it and get yourself set up. But I want you to do this with me. Okay, so we've got some distance. I pick my foot up, and then I hop in, and I kick. Okay, so we're focusing on this foot. Foot up, hop, kick. Let's do it again. Foot up, hop, kick. I say hop, it's a slide, whatever. Again, pick it up, launch yourself in, and kick. Again, foot up, launch, and kick. So the key to that is just get in a habit. So this is why drills are so important, because if I was doing this with a live fighter, you really don't get to focus on your footwork because they're hitting you, they're moving you, they're doing things that you're not expecting, and you don't get to iron out little details. So this is actually perfect. My pad's not going to hit me. I can focus on what I'm going to do. I'm going to get some muscle memory going. This foot is light, comes up, and I kick. Okay? That's the key to all the slides. Foot up first. Okay, now the next drill I want to do is I want to work on some multiples. So one of the things You wouldn't do this in a self-defense situation, but you're fighting competitively, you're fighting in a tournament, you can get away with this. And what it is, I'm going to chase that person with a bunch of slide round kicks. So this person is maybe over here, and I'm chasing with a round kick, getting them to back up. Okay? So we talked about controlling the distance. Again, so whoever controls the distance wins the fight. Okay, so what I'm trying to do in this particular case is get that person to back up. And here's the thing, when you're backing up, when you're backpedaling, when you're on your heels, it's a lot harder to fight and counter from that position. So I'm trying to get that person on their heels, backing up, trying to get out of the way of my kick. Okay, and then at the end of that, I might hit them with the kick, I might hit them with my hands, right? So I'm chasing them. I could pretend I'm going to kick low and then go high, or I could keep their hands low so their hands are coming down, and then I follow up with my hands. That's a great drill. So it's kick, kick, and then my hands. We're going to do that in a little bit first. But first I want to do the multiples. So here's how this is going to be. I want you to get yourself like 6 feet, 8 feet, or if you're a green belt, maybe it's only going to be 2 slides. That's okay. What I'm going to do is start all the way back here, and I'm going to pick my foot up, and I'm going to do slides all the way to the pad. So slide, 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 and then I'm going to go back. Now when I go back, I don't want you to just turn your back and walk. It's a bad habit to get into. I want you to think of always looking at your opponent. Never turn your back on your opponent. So I'm going to go back, and I'm going to go step, slide, keep my eyes on them, step, slide. Okay, and then I'm kicking, boom, and then step, slide. Okay, I hope you're doing this with me. This is your drill. Let's do it together. All right, let's do like 5 more. So slide, 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 kick, and then back. Ready, go. And then slide back. Slide. Okay, now let's keep doing that, and let's add the hands to it. Okay, so you could go face, body, face, whatever we're gonna do. So slide, 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 and we're going slide, 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 hands, and back. Slide, 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 slide. Hit. Slide, 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 and hit. And hit. Man, all right, so that's the multiple kick. Okay, I've got one more for you. I'm gonna use this white belt as a marker. So to get good at this, we're gonna start close, and as you get a better slide, we're gonna try to extend it. We're gonna try to extend it. We're gonna try to extend it. So what I'm gonna do is put this here. So now we talked about a danger zone when you fight. Danger zone is, if this is my opponent, the zone between our feet is the danger zone. All that means is if I'm in that zone, I'm in danger of getting hit. So if I'm in that zone, I gotta get out so he doesn't hit me. Or if I'm in that zone, let's say I'm here and he moves into that zone, then I gotta hit him or I gotta move. That's my 2 options. Third option is he moves into my danger zone. If I do nothing, what happens? Then I get hit, right? So if he moves into that zone, I get out of the way. He moves into that zone, I hit it. So what I want to be able to do is practice. You could do this with both the side kick and the round kick. Practice my slide. So I'm going to pick my foot up, slide in, and kick. So notice outside my zone, I can't hit him. So I'm going to pick it up, slide, and kick. So that was just my slides like a couple inches. So now I feel like I'm pretty good at that, and maybe that's good for a gold belt or green belt. I'm gonna move it back a little bit. Okay, so I'm just gonna push myself. So I'm behind my line, pick up, and I slide in. After I do a few of those, it's like, oh, okay, maybe now I'm a red belt. I can go farther. So I'm going to move it back. So my foot comes up. Remember, that's the key. Foot up first. Slide in and kick. All right, now I'm going to try to increase my slide even more. I'm going back here. All right, so now that's a pretty big danger zone. I wouldn't fight someone this far away. I just wouldn't, right? I would still fight him from a regular danger zone. But if I can slide from this far away, you know what that means? That means that person's not going to be able to get out of the way. So if I'm here and I start my kick and that person gets out of the way, because I can slide so far, I'm going to be able to hit them still, even if they're trying to get out of the way. Okay, that's why that's really important. So when I think about, what my instructor was Grandmaster Worley and Scott Masterton. Scott Masterton, as champion kickboxer, he had the most amazing slide that anybody that I've ever seen. All right, and he literally could probably be at the end of that mat, and you'd be over here, and he could still slide and kick you. So when I would fight Mr. Masterton, I wouldn't give him this kind of a danger zone. I wouldn't give him this danger zone. I would give him a danger zone like that, because he could go so far and still he would find a way to slide in and kick me. His favorite was a slide hook kick, so I don't want to trip over that, but he would, from a long distance away, pick that foot up, boom, kick me, and then hit me. And I thought I was plenty distance that he'd never be able to hit me, and all of a sudden my headgear spun and I'm looking out the ear hole. So again, when you have that kind of a weapon in your arsenal, it's just really hard to stop. So let's go back to here. So I'm behind my line, slide in, boom, and I kick. So that's just a good drill. Get a belt, get a piece of tape, whatever you're going to do, and just work at it. Inching out, inching out, inching out. Try to grow your ability to slide. Okay? And I would just say all the drills that we did, this is a drill that you could do every week. You could go through and just do all of these slide drills, because the person who has the best slide kick is usually the best fighter in the class. All right? You just have a better, you're not telegraphing, and if you feel like doing your slides with 8 feet is too easy, one more drill I'm gonna give you. If you're a brown belt or black belt, you want to really practice those slides. Go in the hallway of your house and start at one end and do slides all the way down to the other end, and then do the back and then slide all the way down. If you're ambidextrous, you could try, usually we fight with one side of the other, but if you want to try doing slides on both legs, that would just make you a better martial artist. So these are your drills. This is your sparring drill for this week. Go ahead and watch the video again and practice it. Thanks.